Hello there friends, it's Gudny here from Wake Up Reykjavik. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're all about Iceland in October. It's that sweet spot in between fall and winter with cheaper flights, fewer crowds, amazing nature to see and all sorts of cool things happening. So let me tell you all about Iceland in October. In October you can expect 9 to 10 hours of daylight, which leaves plenty of time for sightseeing and adventure. The weather will hover around the 2 to 7 degrees Celsius mark, but let's be real, it's Iceland, so you can expect sun, rain, wind, and even the first snow of the year all in one day. October is also one of our rainiest months, so we see on average rainfall happening on around 12 days in October. So with that information, what should you pack? Think layers. So you will want a warm base layer, a waterproof outer layer, gloves, sturdy shoes, and a hat. So you would be ready for all seasons, basically. If you have too much with you on a tour, you can always leave stuff behind on the bus. And if you don't have it, well, I can't help you there, but I sure did warn you. Well, now you know what to expect. But what should you actually do when you come here in October? I am going to start with some of my favorite tours. We here at Wake Up Reykjavik are a small tour operator located in Reykjavik that offers small group experiences. So if any of these following tours sound interesting to you, check out our website. I will also link it here below. In October, the Northern Lights season is in full swing, so a Northern Lights tour is ideal. And I recommend you book it on your first day here or as early as you can, since if you don't see the lights, you can retry again for free. How nice is that? And to all the foodies coming here in October, you can't miss out on my favorite tour, our Reykjavik food walk. It's by far the tastiest way to explore the city and a great way to meet new friends. This is also an activity I recommend early in your stay for two reasons. The food tour guide might recommend something cool that you would want to check out, or you will get introduced to a restaurant on the tour that you really love and would want to go back to, or both. October also marks the start of our ice cave season. Here in Iceland, when the temperature starts to drop, the ice caves start to naturally form and freeze. But many of these ice caves aren't fully formed until well into November. However, our 2-day South Coast and Ice Cave tour kicks off early October. And this tour is a blast. It visits all of the classic South Tour stops, as well as a Diamond Beach or Jökulsárlón, which is a mouthful, which is a word even I struggle with. Jökulsárlón. Is it Jökulsárlón or Jökulsárlón? I think it's Jökulsárlón. I'm gonna Google it. Yes, it's Jökulsárlón. I was right, I think. What did I say again? This tour also includes accommodation for one night on the South Coast, where if you are lucky, the Northern Lights might even show up in the nighttime. Since where the accommodation is, there's hardly any light pollution. And the ice cave we visit on this tour is located in Vatnajökull, the largest glacier in Europe. And this particular area of the glacier starts forming in October. So if you're looking for a full-on ice cave experience when in Iceland, I would highly recommend this tour. October is also prime hot spring season, since the colder weather makes dipping into that hot lagoon even that more special in my opinion. So when you come here in October, I would always recommend you do the Golden Circle tour paired with either the Blue Lagoon or the Sky Lagoon. So it's gonna be a full day of exploring the Golden Circle, and it's gonna wrap up in either one of the lagoons, depending on your personal preference. I love them both. I love all lagoons. I don't discriminate against lagoons. But I have visited the Sky Lagoon more frequently. It's also closer to me, so it makes sense. But I love the Blue Lagoon as well. All the slushy in there. Both are great. Do both! Maybe that's too much. Well, maybe not. And October isn't all about nature. We also have some cool cultural events happening. RIF, the Reykjavik International Film Festival, wraps up in early October. The festival starts in September and ends up around the 5th of October each year, and it brings on films and creative energy from all over the world to Reykjavik. On October 9th each year, the Imagine Peace Tower lights up on Viðey Island. The piece was commissioned by Yoko Ono in commemorance of John Lennon's birthday. It's like this giant flashlight of peace that stays lit throughout the winter. And personally, I think Reykjavik some nights turn it into the bat signal, just to mess with tourists. But you know, the city council hasn't really been returning my calls on that one, so we'll see. Oh, and Halloween? When I was a kid, it was mostly just a thing we saw in the movies. But nowadays, some suburbs and areas do trick-or-treating amongst themselves, but also it's mostly an excuse for companies and people to throw parties where they can get dressed up and super drunk. So whenever a holiday presents that opportunity, Icelanders tend to pick it up eventually. I wonder why. So to sum it up, traveling to Iceland in October is kind of like cheating, because you do get all the nature opportunities with the northern lights, the hot springs, the start of the ice cave season, and so on. Plus you have fewer crowds and the flights and accommodation is cheaper. So just pack smart, stay a bit flexible, and you will have an unforgettable adventure. Thanks for tuning in today. If you have any questions, check out the description or write a comment. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!